The NFL draft is about a week and a half away, and we are going over the final 7 teams that have first round picks and their needs right now. Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage. It's your boy Dirty, also with your boy C-Dub, and of course we have our third amigo here now, Nico at Top Dog Coverage. Follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and stay connected with us. Smash the like button and hit that subscribe button. Gentlemen, how are we feeling with about a week and a half away from the draft right now? What are we feeling? What's going on in the old brain?
Fantabulous. Frazzled.
Okay.
Yes, doing great. We getting closer. Gonna see any more stories come out, any more shakeups, but we're getting there.
That's usually how it goes. Yes, indeed. But as we mentioned before, make sure that you guys do follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and stay connected with us. Swipe up on Apple and Spotify. Hit the 5 stars. Make sure that you leave a comment and put us in your algorithm. With that being said, there is no new news yet today, but we do have some areas to go into within the first round, and we will finish the last 7 teams that remain with a first round pick. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. And before we do, this update for the last 7 teams was brought to you by Norse-Hall.com. So make sure that you guys get your hot sauce at Norse-Hall.com, which is a sponsor of the show. And you can get some honey wine, also known as mead, at Norse-Hall.com, located in West Virginia. So with that being said, let's jump right into where we left off. So I believe the last episode, we finished off with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers at 21 and 22. Then we had our mock draft yesterday, which is all up. If you guys want to hit that like button and the subscribe button and go take a look at the mock draft. We had a lot of fun with some trades yesterday with that, but we shall proceed on right now with the 23rd pick in the first round of the NFL 2026 draft. And that would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, any takes on how Philly was last year before we kind of dive in?
Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, they didn't have the greatest year as they expected. I definitely want to see what happens with AJ Brown, see if he's still an Eagle or if that gets shaken up as well. But Eagles not having the greatest season, but looking to bounce back.
Well, I mean, look, this team won the Super Bowl. They made the playoffs, and then they lost in the first round, right? This offense was just god-awful, atrocious, 90% of the year. I mean, we had a game in which Jalen Hurts got 2 turnovers in the same play against the Chargers. I mean, this was just like, it made me really sad just watching this thing. So we have a lot of new changes here. We got a new offensive coordinator, so hopefully the offense should be better. We're expecting it to be better. And then you get a lot of drama. We don't know what's going to be happening with AJ Brown. I know there's a lot of Philly fans that are fed up with him, and there's a lot of people that want to keep him. So I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds, after the draft, after June 1st. But yeah, I mean, this is a team that is not short of talent. I'll tell you that. So
no,
it's a great team, great roster. Howie Roseman has done a phenomenal job over there. So they can easily get back into that conversation as one of the top teams. Unfortunately, the offense was just not what we're accustomed to last year.
Yeah. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Mateo on the second hand, too. He was on the mock draft yesterday, checking in on Instagram. So, hola there.
Mbone.
Yeah, Mbone. But yeah, I mean, let's break it down for a second. The Eagles had one of the best run games. Saquon Barkley went absolutely nuts about a year and a half ago. Okay, he had the game of his career, and all of a sudden he fell off the face of the earth this past year. And when they wanted to run the ball, they were squeaking by wins. And then AJ Brown wanted the ball, and when they started passing the ball, which they couldn't do most of the year anyway, then they started losing. So it was very just up and down. It was lackadaisical at times too. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't that defense that Philly had the year before. The first half they couldn't tighten ship. You could throw anything in the kitchen sink into their secondary and everything would get by. It was very odd. So there were points given up. There was confusion on the offense, and the defense just let up for so many times. And then finally they kind of got in and they were like one and done. So I think doing a deep dive here and taking a look at these needs is a good look here. So their cap space is 34 and almost $35 million here. And they have a real need with the edge spot here. Jalen Phillips went over to the Panthers, and even though he got the bag, right? Got hurt and then he got the bag, right? So, and now they don't have one of their other what was it, Jalex Hunts and who's the other guy? Smith, I believe, over there.
Nolan Smith Jr.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Smith.
He's still there.
So they're missing a lot of people over there, man. They're actually, what was it? Jalex Smith is only under contract. I think
He was the 3rd round pick in 2024.
Yeah, so his contract's going to be ending here. And if you want to go to the other side of the ball with that, also offensive tackle. So Malata and Lane Johnson, they're under contract for the season. But Lane Johnson had a really, really bad injury too. So
I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be playing. So
yeah, he's 36 next season. So you need those guys on the defensive line, offensive line, and they just kind of they need to find out what's going to happen with this tight end spot too. Okay, I think it's time to start addressing that tight end spot as well. So you guys tell me what you think, but I think it's offensive line, edge rusher, and tight end as of right now. Those are my three. What say you guys? What are you guys looking at right now?
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree. Edge is definitely a need. You want to add some more rotation. Philadelphia has been built on having a great front four and being able to, rotate guys in, rotate guys out, and keeping them fresh and having a stacked, depth at that position. So edge is definitely a major need. A successor for Lane Johnson, I think, is definitely on the board as well. So you need to address that sooner than later. I would also argue receiver, especially if AJ Brown gets shipped out. You've got a couple Band-Aids there. You got some names in that room, but you need some more long-term answers, especially somebody that can run with Devonta Smith if you ship AJ Brown out.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, you can get by for now and maybe take one in the mid rounds and hopefully develop him. But you got Dallas Goedert still under contract. You got Grant Calcaterra, 6th rounder from 2022, and a few other guys on the roster for now. So not a super deep position group, but it's definitely something you could target in the mid rounds.
Yeah, like you said, there's no lack of talent with the Eagles. They kind of have most of their spots filled, but like you said, some positions getting older. We don't know how much longer players will be playing for. I do like the tight end position. Some offensive line would help with the tackles getting older, and maybe even like a safety to pair up there with who was that safety? They got Andrew Makuba. What is it? Makuba from, was it Texas, right?
Andrew Makuba from Texas, the Longhorn legend.
Yep. They're with Marcus Epps, so maybe like a real.
They lost one of the exciting whites to Houston.
Yes, but yeah, so I would say maybe even safety. But like you said, they're stacked with talent. Just need to put it together, honestly.
Yeah, if you're just joining us now, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let us know what you think in the comments there. But yeah, I mean that safety position is. I think was it Blankenship is no longer there, and I think
he's in Houston, I believe.
He's in Houston now. Yeah, so yeah, you're gonna have to address that. At one point, they did have solid defense. They could stop damn near anybody. I remember that Rams game, that playoff Rams game. And Rams came over. It was a great game to watch. That's a really tough offense to defend. I don't care if you're away or you're at home. That's a really tough offense to defend. And they were able to do it, right? So
the snow game?
Yeah.
The playoff game?
Yep. And it's really hard to do that. I mean, Matthew Stafford and company gave it everything they had. But when it came over to this year, they were still drunk Super Bowl hangover. So, it happens. But, yeah, I mean, we go over it real quick, but I think we can all agree on offensive line, like offensive tackle here. Is that one big one that we can agree on?
Yeah.
And could we agree on the edge in that sense too?
Yes, but I do want to have a slight caveat with that edge. Yeah. I was definitely like a long-term need and focus, but they did make 2 short-term signings in Arnold Ebiketie and then Joe Tryon-Shoytka. Right. So you have more people at that edge position, but you want to also add some more long-term stability there too. So
fair enough. And I think this is where not that we go in different directions, but I think each of us sees something a little bit different on that third need. But I would say tight end. Nico, you would say safety, and C-Dub, what would you look at here? More for a third?
A long-term answer at receiver, especially if you move AJ Brown out.
Yeah. So a lot of holes to fill here on this Eagles defense that was looking absolutely amazing a year ago, and now
I don't know about holes. I just think you need some more long-term depth. I don't know if they necessarily have a lot of holes.
I do. They snuck into the playoffs last year. It's not like they didn't look great doing it. They didn't look great at all doing it. I personally, I think that there are holes because if they can't perform the way that they were the year beforehand, and they had the picks that they had in the draft before, that's just my opinion. But obviously they didn't get the people to fill in where it needed to be filled in. So it's still a problem.
I think for me personally, I think the offense is more the issue than the defense. And you still got a ton of talent on that. You have Moro Ajomo, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. You signed Reek Woolen coming over at the corner spot. So I think you have a lot of talent, especially as starters on that defense. And you definitely want to add some more depth at the edge, like we discussed. But I think the offense getting that back on track is more of an issue than the defense, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Okay. So I mean, I think we kind of ran down the Philadelphia Eagles and bullied them up a little bit. Are we good to move on from there?
See?
Okay. So instead of going into the pick 24, where the Cleveland Browns got theirs from the Jaguars from last season, making a trade to come up for Travis Hunter, we will go to 25, where it is the Chicago Bears. CW, you wanna take this one or start off?
Yeah, I mean,
or is that good?
Yeah. It was Chicago, the Bears.
The Bears.
This is a team. Obviously you get Ben Johnson in there. You have a great year. You get a lot out of Caleb. You get a lot of that offense. Defense, major issue. So I think you could add really any level of the defense. Really specific looking at deep DT, defensive tackle, edge, safety. But also you kind of had some mix up on the offensive line. You lost your center. He retired. You traded for Garrett Bradbury. You have Joe Tooney, who won the offensive protector of the year, the lineman award they just recently started. But he's getting older. He's not going to be around forever. And then you have your second rounder from last year, Ozzie Trapillo, who hurt his knee, I believe, in the playoffs. So you might want to add some depth at tackle. But looking at the roster, we got to address the defense. You signed Devin Bush at linebacker. You bring over Cam Lewis at safety, Kobe Bryant at safety. I think you definitely look at a long-term answer there. But you also need to add to this defensive tackle group. They run that base 4-3 over there. So You have Javon Dexter, the second rounder, but you have Grady Jarrett, the longtime Atlanta Falcon, who's not getting any younger. I think you could definitely add some youth and talent there.
Yeah.
And, sneakily, I think you definitely need to add to this receiver room. You trade DJ Moore, and right now you have Rome Odunze and Luther Burden III, which is great. But behind them, you're looking at Khalif Raymond, Jade Walker, Maurice Alexander, and JP Richardson, the TCU alum. So you definitely need to address the receiver room as well at some point in this draft. You need to add some more bodies to that room. So looking at it, I'd say DT, edge, safety, and receiver for me personally.
Nico, what are you thinking?
Yeah, he pretty much said it. Definitely defensive tackle and wide receiver. You have Javon Dexter out of Florida, but he's shown flashes. But I want to see more out of him. And like C-Dub said, Grady Jarrett's only getting older. Like to get someone in there, maybe in that first round right here, and get someone maybe like a Peter Woods falling in the draft, get just a crazy talent there. But the wide receiver as well. You got Luther Burden, but who was hyped out of college and had a good rookie year, but don't know if he could take that number two. So maybe another receiver would help actually.
Yeah. I'm looking at this defensive tackle as well. The edge, it has a couple different things. The safety, they did sign Kobe Bryant from, the Seahawks, and Brisker and Byard, they left. But Kobe Bryant, I think, can bring some veteran skills over there. I do think in this draft, I'm trying to see if they have a second rounder. Do the Bears have a second round pick?
Yeah, I think pick.
They should have two because didn't they get the one for the DJ Moore trade?
I think you
57
might be right.
And 60.
7. What was it? 67.
57 and 60.
Okay. So I think, look, with this, I'll go with you on the defensive tackle. I agree. I do agree with the edge. I can say wide receiver. I'm going to go with the center. Dahlman unexpectedly kind of retired there, so they traded for his replacement in Bradbury from the Patriots, and he's under contract through 2027. I think in the later rounds they should probably get a depth guy, maybe the guy out of was it Kentucky? I think it is. Somebody like that if they're able to, but I think that they're able to get edge maybe in this. I think they should go edge or wide receiver at this pick, right? I think they'll have some selections. If one of those big-bodied wide receivers comes down, I say they pick that. And in the second round, they have a lot of flexibility to get an edge going into the second or halfway down into the second. And some of these DTs are falling all the way to the third. And there's some really good DTs that are falling. And I think it's because it is very much so defensive-based and very defensive based and very heavy. So if they do it correctly, I think they can replace some of these things that they've lost,
So what did you want them to address in the first round?
So in the first round, I think that they could, if one of these big body receivers falls, like let's just say you never know. Let's say Tyson falls, right? Say he does, right? Absolutely. I think you can grab him. I think that's something that could really, really help them out. You lost a big name receiver, right? And in the second, you have 2 seconds. I think you can go after edge and defensive tackle in there. I think those are two, or you can go after edge in the first round or two and go find another guy, maybe a third wide receiver 3 if you want, depending on what you want to look at and depending on what's more important. But I believe within the first 2 rounds, you can fill these gaps. I really do. I think there's enough talent on the board, especially defensively, to where you can wait into the second round to go get it. It does kind of fall off of a cliff a little bit with the wide receivers after a certain amount of time. If you're looking for, I don't want to say stars, but dependable wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they got 4 picks in the top 100, so I think you could easily add to this defense and then add another playmaker in the receiver spot, Mm-hmm. But I think with the defense is going to be what holds them back. I think Ben Johnson has a great scheme. I think he can dial up a lot of different plays. He loves the run game. that combination of Swift and Monangai. So I think you could just add another receiver in there. I would really maybe try to address that later on in that second round or even the third rounder. Just depends on how the board goes, obviously. But we got to give Dennis Allen some talent on defense. We got to give him some more people there.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, we're going to Anakili, I hope I'm saying that right, or Anik Kylie. I don't know. But he liked and subscribed. We are at 299 subscribers. If you want to be that 300 subscriber, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button and then smash that like button. All right. We're here to give the fans what they need. So with that, can we move on? We'll go over what they are. So DT, edge, and I think we said wide receiver. I think we're all going to look at this wide receiver a little bit, and they might be able to squeeze in a running back in the later rounds too, right?
Can I say the other one for me would be corner, because I think that it's a really shallow group.
Yeah.
Right now, so I think you could definitely add some corner depth as well.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, they came in strong. New coach. He laid down his foundation, and that's what it was. So. Yeah, word, Anakili. Everyone like and subscribe now. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody watching, everybody streaming right now, everybody on Instagram, and everybody on YouTube. So we want to thank everybody for joining the show. So with that, should we move on to
Buffalo?
Bills.
Nico, you want to start off with Buffalo?
Yeah, Buffalo. Let's see. Oh, my thing's not working.
Good old Buffalo Bills.
Like I said, I would look at another wide receiver. You had Keon Coleman. Don't know what's quite going on with him, if he's going to put it together and be the player we all thought he was going to be. But I think getting another receiver up there, that's probably what I would like the most, honestly, and just some offensive line help, I would say.
Okay. Any other things they should probably close in on? Not just the first round, but maybe later on in the draft.
Maybe I'd probably look at. They did get DJ Moore, so that was another thing too. Oh dang, they are kind of. Shoot. They got some good. Maybe some cornerback help. Maybe another corner to help that group up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they could use a little. They could use a couple things there. I feel like their defense sort of fell back, and it was because of the lack of pressure that they were putting on the quarterback last year, and it almost kind of turned into a Greg McDermott defensive guy with no defense. That's kind of what it turned into, and it was Josh Allen trying to save the world as he always does. So. And it just didn't work out anymore. The signing of Joey Bosa wasn't. I don't think it was as good as everybody thought. AJ Espina. I can never say his name.
Espinoza.
Right? Espinoza. Yep, he went to I believe the Browns, I think, and then Russo remains under contract for a couple seasons. But Bosa's out, and they did get Bradley Chubb, which is solid. I think that they could really use somebody over there, though, because I think it's turning over to an offensive-minded head coach now with Joe Brady. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to have to load up on defense in order to really make this defense hum, Yeah, they do need – I would say that they do need the wide receiver bit over there, and they do have DJ Moore. But, I mean, look, maybe I'm crazy for saying this, and it is what it is. But I just think they just got a bunch of number wide receiver twos over there. That's what I think, including DJ Moore. He's just I think he's a 1, maybe a 1B. I'm not saying he's not good, but can we please get Josh Allen a stacked number 1 receiver? They had Diggs. Go sign Keenan Allen. I know he's old, but he'll still move the chains, get this dude somebody who is reliable, who you can throw the ball to, and no matter what, he's going to catch it. So I agree with the wide receiver bit. And then I would say either, protect him, offensive guard, or somewhere within the defense again, because that defense was atrocious. And again, it was just Josh Allen. You saw some of the inaccuracy last year. I'm not going to say that he was terrible, but you could tell that he was flustered and he didn't have some time in the pocket. So I would say a little bit on the guard side where they can protect him just a little bit more. So that's my opinion. That's where I think that they should go. Probably edge and wide receiver and offensive guard. C-Dub?
Yeah, I kind of agree with both of you guys. This is one of those teams that are in complete win now mode, right? You ship out McDermott, you bring in Brady, you promote him from within, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be focused a lot on the offense, and you want to definitely add some more receivers because, like, you got to look at it in the playoffs, in the divisional round. You had critical moments with Brandon Cooks in the year 2025 with some major plays on the field, right? So it's one of those things like you want to add some more talent to this room. You want to see what you got with Keon Coleman. But at the same time, this defense just was not the defense that we're accustomed to with the Bills. So you definitely need to adjust the edge position. Add some more guys. Bradley Chubb's not going to be enough to pair up with Russo. So you want to add some edge depth there. I'd argue linebacker. You can definitely add some linebacker here as well. Get Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard. If those guys go down, you get a bunch of undrafted free agents at the linebacker spot. So I would definitely use a pick on a linebacker. And I'd argue safety as well. You've signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got Cole Bishop back there. You bring in over Geno Stone. So you add a couple bodies there, but maybe a long-term solution there to pair with Cole Bishop. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys as well on the specific needs. So this one's kind of easy.
Yeah, a little bit easier. And you know what? At one point, it was almost just like a one plug and play. Not just one, but they did usually some decent jobs getting a couple guys. But I feel like the lack of wide receiver that the GM over there did was just over the past couple years after Diggs was just negligent, in my opinion. And it just has Josh Allen running for his life and not being able to do what Josh Allen could do if you give him some weapons. But
they try to be like the Chiefs. They try to trade the main guy off and let your quarterback do it. And
that's exactly what they did. I mean, if you couldn't see that, that's exactly what they were doing. They mirrored it,
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, Josh Allen's a phenomenal quarterback, but he's not Mahomes.
No, he's not. And you know what? It's definitely debatable where you could bring some, comparisons up, which is fine. Those conversations are actually really fun for us to have. We love talking about that stuff. But yeah, let's be real about the situation at this time. So, so I think we can close the book on the Bills right there. We're talking what? Edge, wide receiver, like you said, maybe linebacker and offensive guard-ish. I mean, with, a little bit more defense, maybe safety or something like that. But, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at is really the edge and wide receiver-ish. So,
Yes,
all right. So we will close that chapter and turn the page, and we will head to going down the draft order to pick number 27 with the San Francisco 49ers. And we will head over to the West Coast and take a look at what they have to offer. Now, this team, in my opinion, this team always seems to have a run at something, or they have good coaching over there. That's one thing I think we can, I'll say we can agree on, possibly. Yes, no, like 49ers.
It feels like the all-unk team to me, but yeah.
Hey, the all-unk team gets it done. And guess what? And if you can't make it as a head coach, you can always go back there as a coordinator, and then you could leave again. So
I don't know. This electrical substation is just taking out all the great players, and they were completely decimated, injured last year. So I don't know if we actually got to see the full Niners on display at any point last year.
And they still won what? Like, what was the record?
Something and something.
Good call. All right. Party on, Wayne.
12-5. 12-5.
Yeah, that's It's one of those things. So I'll start it off here, but Trent Williams, he's going to be at left tackle over there, and he's 37 years old, but he's also damn near $40 million a year. So it's
Well, they still have to get that contract worked out, right? Wasn't he having grumblings about his contract?
He is indeed. And they could probably use a little help at the right tackle here. So they have Colt McKivitz, and they have a little bit of depth with Austin Pleasance. So they need to find their right tackle. And I think it's very imperative that they do this because they need to find either a right or a left tackle with somebody that can probably play both so that they can prepare to move somebody over to left tackle.
12-5.
I think Nico is delayed. You just got that too? The 12-5? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. So you can still hear me, right, C-Dub?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think Nico's delayed. That's okay. Nico, we're gonna bring you off and bring you right back in, all right? Hold on. I think he's a little bit delayed here. That was so
it's that substation. I'm telling you, man. It's getting everybody.
Nico, sign. There you go. Sign back out. Sign back in. I'm kicking you. Come back into the studio.
All right.
Okay. But we'll talk about this just for now. So yeah, they could use an offensive tackle, maybe that is able to play both sides, I would say. At the same time, maybe have him start off as right tackle, and then when Williams leaves, I guess kick him out to that left side. If they're able to do that,
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely need to start looking at tackle of the future for sure. Colton McKivitz is good enough to get by for now, but if you can upgrade that position, absolutely. And then Trent Williams, we have to make sure that we get the contract situation figured out so he does play left tackle. Yeah. Otherwise, you're in deep, deep, deep hot water. So I think tackle should be a high necessity on this list for these Niners. Mm-hmm. I'd argue also receiver, man. I mean, you bring in Mike Evans, you bring in Christian Kirk, but outside of that, you got a bunch of fourth rounders and Demarcus Robinson along with Ricky Pearsall. So I think you need some long-term answers at that position. Especially with Brock Purdy, we've seen him when he first came into the league. He had a plethora of weapons, and he was able to distribute the ball deep down the field and all over the field to get to these playmakers. Right? We have to surround him with more talent that he can elevate.
Yeah. Nico, you good over there?
It's still kind of doing that. How's it looking on your end?
It looks a little choppy, but I mean, if I could hear you, I think that's okay right now,
Yeah.
Okay, we can try it for a little longer. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or what's going on.
That's all right. Well, I mean, we're talking about San Francisco. So what do you think some of the needs are at San Francisco over there, dude?
Yeah, get some protection for Brock Purdy, keep him healthy. You get Mike Evans, so want to see what happens. I'd definitely say the offensive line and protect Brock Purdy as of now. That'd probably be my number one. I can just pull back up. Everything's all messed up.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely get the protection. We were discussing before. I know you had to reset, but we were just discussing before. Make sure that we could set something up for the future with your tackles and your guards too. I mean, was it Spencer Burford? He left at free agency, and he was at left guard, and Dominic Puny played at right, and he was, good interior, though, they're not really elite. So Ben Barch is a free agent. Matt Hennessy signed with Dallas, so it's like it's really wide open in that guards position. They're gonna have to really find out who they want to step in and understand everything coming into the season. So, but that elite pass rush that they used to have is not really there as much as we would like to see it, and they need to get back on that. So I thought it was going to be a lot easier last year. He thought that they were going to have Robert Saleh's system. They were going to get their guys, and they were going to have that old thing back, and that's just not what happened. So,
Injuries.
but yeah,
Injuries were a major factor with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly was. And so, I mean, I would say anything on offensive line. Wide receiver here, they signed Mike Evans. Brandon Ayuk, what is going on with Brandon Ayuk?
No one knows.
No one knows. Juwan Jennings is still waiting, right? Christian Kirk got signed.
Free agent.
And I joined. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see this. I do want them to add a wide receiver somewhere in here. Somebody young. Doesn't have to be a stud, but it does have to be somebody that has a unique talent. Okay, I would like to see that. On the other end, I want to see what Mike Evans and Christian Kirk healthy, because we know that he does get hurt.
Well, both of them were hurt last year.
Yeah, compared with Pearsall, I want to see how this works out. This actually does look like a pretty intriguing wide receiver group, in my opinion. It's a 1 year. It's a 1 year fix. That's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to do anything crazy. So
definitely some long-term answers there. But yeah, I mean, again, this is, you're essentially mirroring what I said earlier too.
Mhm.
But you want to make sure that we add some more playmakers, because that's where Purdy's at his best.
Yep.
Is when he's surrounded with a bunch of talent. So
okay. So playmaker, so wide receivers, offensive line, and probably some edge, some pass rushers. Go get the quarterback. I'm guessing. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at here.
I would throw corner in there too.
Good call. Nico, what are you thinking?
True. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. You guys can hear me? 1 second. This thing is not working.
That's all good. All right. I think we went over the San Francisco 49ers pretty good though. But what we will do is we can move on to the number 28 pick. And that is the Houston Texans. Shout out Luis. I was on the phone with him earlier today. And he's doing well, in case the fans want to know. So we lost Nico again, huh?
I guess.
Is Nico in San Francisco right now? Is that why we're losing him?
I don't know. Could be.
It could be.
Substation comes for all, man. So I don't know.
Apparently. What did you send him in the mail, dude? Like
a camera.
Yeah, just a camera. Now we can't see him at all.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. So you want to push through with the Houston Texans here? You want to lead us off with that?
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that went 12-5. Obviously, the name of the game was the defense. Nico Ryans had a phenomenal unit last year, and you add more talent to the defense as well. You bring in Reed Blankenship at safety, Logan Hall at defensive tackle, Dominic Robinson at edge, Marty Mapu. You make a trade at linebacker, bringing Jake Hummel at middle linebacker, and Brandon Codrington from corner. So this is a team that also has reinvented its offensive line for the second year in a row. You bring in Wyatt Teller at left guard, coming over from Cleveland in free agency. You also signed Braden Smith to play your right tackle, coming over from Indianapolis. And you also make a trade for David Montgomery. You also signed Evan Brown at center from Arizona. So this is a team that needs to continue to invest in that offensive line. Looks like we have our tackle, the left tackle of the future at Ursery. You have Wyatt Teller, who's getting a little bit older. So you definitely want to have a long-term solution there. Jake Andrews, and you have Ed Ingram at right guard, and then the Braden Smith at right tackle. So I would argue you want to definitely make guard a high priority position.
Yeah.
There. Center as well. So basically any interior offensive line for the Texans. We have to protect CJ Stroud and give him a chance before we have to pay him. And then with this defense, I would, it's been a phenomenal unit in these last couple of seasons, but I think we need to add more on the interior defensive line. So add some more defensive tackles, some more interior pressure. there. And then maybe some more depth at edge because you have Will Anderson Jr., who's going to get a huge payday. And then you make the 1-year extension for Donnell Hunter, but you need a long-term answer opposite of Anderson Jr. So,
yeah, you can't put all the pressure on one guy to go get the quarterback. Can't be schemed around just one guy. Collectively, you need that. You need the team effort there, and I think that's where a lot of the stuff with that defensive tackle could help too. In there, you get a big bodied guy that are able to scheme some things. Go through the A gap, B gap. However you're going to scheme that. But I agree with you. I think the offensive guard should be the highest ranked thing here that they should be focusing on, along having their long-term center as well. You might be able to get one in like the second, third round if you're looking at that. And I think in my mind, I think that they have gotten away, unless they just have really good offensive lineman coaches. They've gotten away with having a 12-5 record here with an unknown offensive line, and I don't know how they did it. I really don't. They've traded away players. Nobody knew who these next guys were coming up. I think this is the time where you solidify that, get your guy in the draft, get your guard, get your center, whoever it might be, get your defensive guy too, defensive tackle, and your linebacker. Go get some linebackers or whomever D'Amico Ryan always picks great defensive players here, man. He coaches D'Amico Ryan. I don't know why I was thinking Raheem Morris for a second. But yeah, definitely that is I think it starts with the offensive line here. I agree with you. So
yeah, and I think I don't want to discount Donnell Hunter. He's had a great season last year, but I don't know if he's necessarily your long-term answer at that edge spot.
Yeah.
So just depending on how the board goes, but I think you could also add like a mid-round running back at some point because right now you only have 3 on the roster.
Yeah.
And Woody Marks had a decent year last year, but he visits the medical tent 6 times a game.
Often.
And you bring David Montgomery over, but he's not going to be your long-term answer, right? So
no, not at all. But if you guys are just joining us, make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are 299, hoping that we can get to the 300 mark before the end of the show. That's what we're going to aim for today. So 300 subs. Are you going to be the person to make it 300 subs? Hopefully you are. We will love you for it. So from the 28th pick, let's go down to the 29th, where it is the Kansas City Chiefs. They traded with the Rams for that pick, and that was the McDuffie trade, right?
But we already covered the Chiefs, so we're actually going to be going to pick 31.
All right, cool. So, we will go to pick 31 because pick 30 is also the Miami Dolphins, who traded with the Broncos. So we will head over to the New England Patriots. Let me grab them and pull them up real quick. Look, New England Patriots still have $35 million in cap space, so they're able to do some things. I understand that they had an easy schedule last year, and that's fine. That can only go so far, though, because coaching does come into handy. Does come in handy here. They did go to the playoffs. Their stats didn't look good, but they still won. So you get a win, you get a win. Their defense looked very powerful last year. I will say that. I would like to see them have a little bit more of an edge here. So none of them were in the top 40 last year, but is collective defense, as you can see what they were doing collectively. They're not worried about really stats, but they're just worried about getting the ball back. So stopping the run. So, but wide receiver here too. Right, so Stephon Diggs gone, right, and
Dubs in,
yeah. So they got their guy last year, and they do have a bunch of. They don't have. Do they have a wide receiver one over there now or no?
Well, you have Keishan Booty, you have Romeo Dobbs, Mac Hollins, you get Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams. So anyone these guys could end up being the number one, but I think you could definitely add to the room.
Do you think that they're going to schematically kind of do things here without a number one wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of did that last year. I mean, Stephon Diggs got most of the love, but I mean, there was games where Kayshon Boutte stepped up, games where Pop Douglas stepped up, Mac Hollins even. So I don't think it's an offense that's predicated around a number one receiver. You know, I think Josh McDaniels and Drake May kind of have that in sync where they can just spread the ball around, and you don't really know who's going to be the main target.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the beauty of it too, because they still do have. I think they really tightened up Ramondre Stevenson's fumble habits last year too. As soon as he came in, he kind of gave him the rock, even more. Like, hey, dude, like this is your job. Make sure you do your job here, And they didn't really let Henderson out of the box yet. I mean, a couple times they did, but I mean, this could be a perfect year to do that and see what they have ready for him. But so I would like to see a little bit of the edge and the linebacker. So Robert Spillane, he came up as the top linebacker for the Patriots last year, and I think that they need somebody else around there too. You know what I mean? There are a good amount of linebackers in this draft. And I think they're obviously at the end of the first. They have a couple options where they can fill if this is the need that they want to go or edge. I think they're going to have a lot of different, options around the end of the draft here. And they could go. I would go defense here. That's just my opinion. I would go either linebacker or edge and see how that works out. But I wouldn't push for offense on this. I would definitely push for defense.
Yeah, I think you also need to look at the secondary as well. I mean, you bring over Kevin Byard, who's going to be, 35 next year. And your corners aren't the youngest. I mean, right now you have Carlton Davis III pairing up with Christian Gonzalez. You got Marcus Jones in that nickel spot. So you could definitely add another corner to that room as well. But yeah, I think you just need to add some youth and speed to this defense. I think you got quite a few older guys at spots such as linebacker, corner, safety. So I think you could add some injection of youth and speed at any level of the defense.
Yeah.
And then on offense, let's find another playmaker for Drake May and maybe add some tackle depth or some offensive line depth across the board. I also wouldn't rule out a tight end here because Hunter Henry is not getting any younger, and the depth behind him is not great. So.
No, it's not. I think they'll find something over there. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a trade to get somebody ready for when he exits, and, this is going to sound crazy. I'll throw it out there, but what's to say that they don't make a trade with the Commanders for Ben Sinnott in the future, for the future? And, they just signed.
Specific?
Huh?
So that's oddly specific.
It is. I could just see, he's kind of a dog over there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what Vrabel likes. He likes those
big white dude. That's what he likes.
He might like big white dudes. Yeah, sure.
I mean, Ben Sinnott out of all the tight ends, you could say they could potentially be traded.
He's not getting any attention over there. They just signed a tight end that they drafted this kid, and you've seen his potential, but they're obviously not really utilized. They just gave the bag to Okonkwo, which Okonkwo is he's a good tight end. He showed a lot of promise in Tennessee, but at the same time, if you don't have, obviously they do not have the faith in Ben Sinnott to be a starter.
And
so
they see this guy in practice every day, and then they don't like what they're seeing.
Hey, another man's trash.
Maybe they do. They just want to keep him on ice for another few years. I don't know.
Maybe you never know.
I don't know what's going on in the Capitol here, so I don't know.
No, me neither. But yep. Just so recapping here, defense, like you said though, edge, linebacker, safety, tight end is also a solid look. I agree with you on that one. Before we go on to our last one over here, we're gonna do a little shout out here. Eagles are about to fall off the map, says I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that.
H-Bone.
H-Bone. That's what you get. H-Bone. There you go. And also, don't sleep on the Jags next year. we didn't sleep on the Jags last year. We gave them their credit. We put them exactly where they thought that they would be, and that's where they fell. And yeah.
I have a question for you in the chat.
Question for the chat.
So, will the Jaguars win a Super Bowl before or after Trevor Lawrence cuts his hair?
Ooh, that's a solid. It
It could be
Okay.
there. I don't know.
It
I
could.
don't know. I want to know what the people want. People know.
Yeah, that's a solid take. What do you think? I'm gonna say after. I think a change has got to come.
I think now that he's got the right head guy there, I think he can get it done. Pre-haircut, but I think he could build a dynasty post-haircut.
Okay. Yeah, they're certainly on their way. They definitely have the tools and the manpower to do what they got to do. So, sir, are you ready to take on the last team that has a pick in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft?
Yeah, that is the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
Yep. You want to take us
the
through
the Darnolds, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that, man, they kind of was a buzzsaw for the entire league here.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense was amongst the elite, if not the most elite, throughout there. Tons of talent across the board. I mean, this unit was incredible last year, right? But I think you lost a lot of different guys in free agency. You lost good old Kenneth Walker III, and you were able to re-sign Rashid Shaheed, but you lost some pieces on defense. So I think looking right off the bat, I would say actually running back is a major need. You also, because you have Charbonnet coming off that serious injury, so we don't know what his timeline is. I would also argue edge and maybe another guard opposite Gray Zabel.
Yeah.
There, Anthony Bradford is okay, but you want to make sure that we keep Sam Darnold upright.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, really, those are the big needs that I see. I would also maybe throw in safety. All right, but
yeah, I mean, Gray Zabel had a heck of a first year, man. Like he shined so. He was really well, and Anthony Bradford is not looking promising over there. That one's for you, C-Dub. But yeah, I agree with you that I think it needs to be addressed, the offensive guard position, and taken seriously along with the running back. Who do you have? Emmanuel Wilson coming from Green Bay. That's your starter right now, and
technically, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, what do they do with that? I mean, that's really difficult to look at that and say, yeah, we're comfortable with that after losing your Super Bowl MVP, after losing your other running back that was drafted a year after him, I believe, to a devastating injury. And you do want him back because he's a great player. He's an amazing running back. He's shifty, he's quick, and he could run routes too. Like he's very good. He's athletic and he's a very good running back. But I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Who are we talking about? Just
Charbonnet.
People. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm comfortable with that backfield. I don't know if you grab. Do you think you grab a running back earlier?
I don't know. Sure. I mean, you have pick 32, and then you don't pick again until 64. So I mean, if you really like a guy, you got to take him at 32, or you can try to move up in the second. But I mean, if you see a guy that can be a difference maker, shoot, why not? And this is not a team that's shied away from taking obscure running backs in the first round.
No, not at all. But I mean, that defense was running on all cylinders last year, 100%, and it'd be interesting to see what they could do with maybe another edge rusher. See what they can, look. Some of these corners. I'll be honest with you. Some of these corners, haven't really been tested because the front line of the Seattle Seahawks have gotten to the quarterback. So it really is just the pressure that they put on doesn't allow the ball to get off. And I mean, kudos to them. So it's like, I still think that they might need a little help with cornerback, personally.
Yeah, you lose Rick Woolen, so I think you could definitely add to that room as well. Sure.
But because you never know. I mean, what if you are in a game and that pressure is just not working, or somebody found it? I think these cornerbacks could also be tested. We'll find out.
I think they have a good group. I wouldn't say they're bad by any means.
No,
I think it's kind of a shallow group. I think you need more depth there.
Yeah,
because when one of these guys go down, you're looking kind of rough.
A little rough itself, but yep. I mean, that kind of ties it up for the Seahawks, I would say. I mean, they do have some needs in some important areas, but I don't see them just falling off the face of the earth or anything like that. They have a lot of talent on that team. They have a good coach, and they have a very strong defense. So, and
yeah, they're set up to be good for a while. That division's going to be tough.
Yes,
I think everyone improved, and the question's still to be determined on Arizona. But
yeah,
I think all three teams, that's Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams, and the San Francisco 49ers all improved this offseason. So with the draft to go.
Yeah, with the draft to go. But with that is number 32. We have finished all of the first rounders that with team needs. We will come back to you guys and girls with the 5 teams that did not have first round picks. So there are teams that we will go over their team needs as well. They traded out of the first round, different players and such like that they wanted on their team. So they give up their first round picks and such. So we will go over those in the next episode. C-Dub, do you have anything else to mention, to add, to anything like that?
No, I mean, just some personal stuff, I guess. I just got done reading Bring Your Own Pencil. So this is a good, solid book from Dan Casey and the Griffin brand. I don't know if most of you guys have probably seen Coach Dan Casey breaking down film and stuff like that. It's really great book. I highly recommend. It's based off of a Bill Walsh's playbook for winning in anything. So
nice.
highly recommend. Again, it's Bring Your Own Pencil.
Bring Your Own Pencil. I like that. Awesome. I'll take a look at that myself. But with that, we appreciate everybody joining the show. So thank you guys for joining us, and make sure that you guys do follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and stay connected with us. Go to topdogcoverage.com. Make sure that you vote for your favorite team. Swipe up on Spotify, Apple, hit the 5 stars, leave the comment, put us in your algorithm, and don't forget to email us at topdogcoverage@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about, and maybe some rivals. Rivals are always fun to talk about, So
who's your sleepers in the draft? You
guys
who do you like in round 1? Who's your favorite for day 2, day 3?
Yeah, we like talking about
undrafted guys, like anything, any football teams.
We definitely like talking about that, and also sign up for the newsletter. We have some wild takes that people usually push against, and that's okay. So we've gone head on with Seattle fans. We've gone head on with Raiders fans. We've gone head on with all the fans you could possibly imagine. So you bring it to us, and you bring it to the table. We'll discuss it. So without further ado, though, it is our honor, our pleasure to bring you another episode, and we will be back with another one with the next 5 teams, and we'll wrap it up before the NFL draft. It's your boy Dirty, it's your boy C-Dub. Thank you so much, and we are out. Peace.